Hey there guys, welcome to another episode of EDC Tactical Gear Review. As always, I am your host, Mark P. We're coming from a new location tonight to do a review of some gear. This is the InnoGear 5000 Lumen LED headlamp flashlight. This is a rechargeable LED headlamp flashlight, and that's actually what attracted me to it in the first place. Prior to purchasing this, I would never have purchased a rechargeable headlamp since there are no wall sockets or plugs in the woods where I would most likely be using it. But I have purchased a solar charger that I can use now to charge this bad boy up, at nighttime. As long as the solar power charger has got juice in there, I can charge this thing up, and I can use it when I'm gonna need it. So that was the reason why I made the purchase, and I must say I'm for the most part I'm pretty happy and satisfied with the purchase. A lot of information that the manufacturer provided seems to be underestimating the abilities and capabilities of the unit. So on a lot of things, I was quite pleasantly surprised when I did my testing on it. So I've had it for 3 weeks, maybe 4 at the most. This is going for $30 on Amazon. That's the Prime price. As always, I don't know what the other price is because I'm a Prime member and that's how I buy it. The model number is T757. As you can see, there are 3 LEDs. You have a main large LED, and then you have 2 smaller LEDs on the sides. The unit has fully adjustable straps. You can adjust the straps on the side here for around your head, and you can adjust the strap here on the top as well to snug it down on the top of your head as well, which is quite nice. I found that I was able to wear the unit just over my head as is. It fit over hats. I've read reviews where it said it fit over hard hats. So the adjustability of it seems to be pretty good. This is powered by 2 lithium-ion rechargeable 3.7 volt, 4,400 milliamp batteries, and according to the manufacturer, they kick out 20 watts of power. You can recharge this either through the included wall wart and charging cable, or you can do it via a USB port. Any device that has a USB port that will output power, like a laptop or a desktop computer, you can charge this through that way as well. I did find that charging through the wall was considerably faster than through USB, but that's just a function of USB. I only tested through USB 2.0. I did not try 3.0, so that may have some increased time as far as charging goes, but charging through the wall is going to be your fastest. InnoGear does say that on the first charge that you should do this via the included wall charger, and I think it took it was 12 to 15 hours to do that first charge. They also say not to use the unit while it's being charged. I'm not quite sure why that is being said, but hey, whatever, that's their deal, so that's what I didn't, or I didn't do that. The model number on this is T757. It comes with the unit itself. It comes with a wall charger and a cable, which I'll show you in a little bit, and it comes with the 2 rechargeable batteries. You cannot use regular batteries in this unit. You can only use rechargeable batteries. The InnoGear on their website and on Amazon claimed that this headlamp would only last for 4 to 6 hours under a full charge, and under my testing, those numbers were incredibly low. They weren't even close, to be quite honest with you. The short amount of time was still 4 hours over their maximum time. So let's go into the times and go into the modes here. Just a warning, people with epilepsy, there is a strobe mode, which I will do my best to not point at the camera, but if you are epileptic, you may not want to watch this or fast forward through that part as it comes up. I will try to put out a warning when it comes up, because like I said, it is a strobe, and I do not want anyone to have any epileptic seizures because they're watching my video. So let's see, let's go into... We'll show you this right here. There's a little button here on the top, and that's what activates the different modes. So we have, let's see, mode 1 is just your single bright LED. Mode 2 is your 2 side LEDs. Mode 3 is all 3 LEDs lit up. And mode 4 is the strobe. So again, if you have epilepsy or are prone to epileptic seizures because of strobing effect, turn away, because I'm going to turn on the strobe in 1 second. So I'll do it quick. There's the strobe. That's all 3 LEDs going at the same time. InnoGear calls it an SOS mode, but SOS is ... and that's just ... So that is not SOS. As far as the actual run times go, the single LED, the single large LED here in the center, it ran for 21 hours. Now, actually, I'm going to back up here for a second. As far as my testing methodology went, I took the unit, I charged the unit to full capacity, and I will show you how I know it was full in a little bit later on in the video. And then I ran the headlamp to a point where I felt like the output was so diminished that I considered it dead. None of my testing at any point did I actually run the headlamp to the point of where the light actually shut off because there was no power. Again, my logic was thinking that there's just a certain point in time where, yes, technically the light may be on, but the output was so low and so minimal, it was effectively dead. As far as I was concerned, it wouldn't throw light of any useful output at that point in time. So as far as I was concerned, it was dead, and that was how I did my testing, and that was consistent through all of my tests. So again, the single main LED by itself, that was 21 hours. The 2 side LEDs, they got 16 hours on a full charge. So that was actually pretty good. So, 5 hours less than the large LED. All 3 running at the same time, I got 10 hours. Now again, InnoGear claimed that the unit would last 4 to 6 hours underneath a full charge, so I got 4 hours more than their maximum runtime. So I'm not quite sure if they're purposely under-reporting or what, but like I said, they are woefully under-reporting the runtime on this. And the strobe, I got 22 hours out of that. The unit itself weighs 10.6 ounces, and I'm actually not sure where it's made. Probably made in China, but I honestly don't know. The units, or not the units, the settings, they call them high, middle, low, and flashing, or SOS. As far as the light goes, it's only a white light. There's no red, there's no blue, there's no green, there's no other color. It's simply that high, bright white. Like I showed you before, just that single button here for activation, turn it on, and that's it. Turns it on, turns it off, does all the functions on there. You do have to cycle through all the modes to turn off, as far as I could tell. Although it looked a little funny, like it would turn on, off there. So I'm not sure why it's doing that now and wasn't doing it before. for me to when I was doing my testing. I did notice after a few days of if it was fully charged and I hadn't used it, if I attached it to the wall charger, it would indicate that it could take a charge still, and so you know, the rechargeable batteries are slowly losing a charge over time. So unfortunately, I don't think you could store this long term in a pack and have it be 100% when you need it. Again, which is why I am so inclined to have my solar charger with me to make sure that I can charge this thing up when and if I need it. Now, we're going to go outside in a little bit and I will show you this, but this thing throws out a ton of fucking light. I mean, it's like you know, Christmas, the Christmas Vacation movie when Clark Griswold lights up his house with the Christmas lights. I mean, it's just, it is bright. I have a 250-foot, 300-foot long driveway, and I shined this thing at my neighbor's house across the street, and it lit up his house like it was daylight. So we're talking, you know, 250, maybe 300 feet of my driveway, plus across the road, plus up his driveway, and like I said, this thing just was, it was amazing how bright it was. I was afraid I was going to wake him up, to be honest with you, because it was that bright. Now, what else do you guys want to know? The LED itself, according to InnoGear, it's a model number XML2T6. You know, I don't know if that's important to anybody, but that's the actual lamp number or model number. The LEDs, you know, I was a little concerned about heat output from the LEDs, especially for something that's been running for 20 plus hours, you know, almost a full day. I did notice that there was some heat buildup, but it was mild. It was not hot to the touch. You wouldn't burn your hands, but it was definitely warm. You know, obviously for those modes where it didn't last as long, you know, the 3 LED for 10 hours, it was pretty much cool to the touch. But like I said, the single, double, and strobe, you know, the outer casing of the unit, it was definitely warm to the touch. One of the other things about this is that the focal length of this is set. You cannot adjust it. You cannot make the pattern wider. You cannot make it smaller. However, having said that, though, I think that the focal length that they chose and that they set for this is actually really good. A lot of times with flashlights or whatever in general, you have the super bright center point or the center circle, and then it gets very diffused after that. This is not like that. And so you will see again when we go outside and actually, you know, it's dark outside now, so you'll see it. But it has a fairly good-sized bright center circle, and then the light that comes out from around it, it is diffused, but it's still very bright, and it doesn't fade away as it you know moves away from that center. It's very steady and very consistent light output. Now, as far as the actual unit itself, it is the only adjustment you can make is it rotates. Rotates 90 degrees. That's it. So it's straight forward or straight down or any point in between. As you can see, there's a little screw here. On the other side, it is it's a Phillips head screw, so you actually can adjust that. So if this gets wobbly or loose, you can tighten that down a little bit. So that's nice. So I mentioned the adjustment straps. They work fine. You've got your cordage here that runs from the battery pack into the actual LED unit itself. This is the battery pack. When you turn it on, let's turn this thing on, you get this green light that lights up in the back. I mean, I guess I understand. I guess if you're jogging, maybe something like that. But if you're in the woods, my God, this thing throws out enough freaking light that there's no way that nobody wouldn't notice you. I think it would be next to impossible for them not to see you. Again, like I said, this is the actual battery pack itself. To get inside, there's this little, let's see if I can, this little nub over here in the upper left-hand corner. This is just a rubber piece that just pulls right off, and the batteries are right there. Nothing special, nothing fancy, and this just fits right back on. And that's that. The charging, as I mentioned before, there's a USB port right here, so any USB charging option that you want to use, you can. And this is for the the wall charger. This is the input from the wall charger. Now, InnoGear claims that this is waterproof and heatproof. Now, based on a lot of questions and answers on Amazon, I don't believe that claim. I didn't test it. I didn't want to ruin my unit. I'm gonna go with the belief that this is water resistant as opposed to waterproof. As far as heat proof, I don't quite know what that means, but you know, again, the output of the heat that I got, I didn't think it was that bad to the point of where if it was consistently used that it would do any type of damage to the unit itself. Now the unit itself is made from a heavy plastic and aluminum. It feels pretty good in the hand. It doesn't feel flimsy. You know, it doesn't sound cheap. You know, usually when it's cheaper plastic, you get that hollow, crappy sounding, and it doesn't. As far as the I'm sorry, I'm not pointing at the camera. Again, like I said, this is aluminum here. There's some plastic around here. This, I don't think this is plastic. It could be, but it feels very solid. If it's plastic, it's a very hard and heavy plastic. Let's see, what else do you guys want to know? Oh, okay, so let's talk about charging. So I'm gonna take the phone here off my little stand here. The InnoGear has included this cute little smiley face charger. So when let's see, smiley face. When the unit is fully charged, this lights up to be green. When it's charging, it shows as red. So let's see if I can get this plugged in. I don't know if it's charged or not, so I'm not sure if it'll light up or not red. So let's see. Ah, here we go. So, when it's charging, you can see that the smiley face turns from green to red. And when it's fully charged, the smiley face goes from red to green. So that's how you know when it's fully charged. So we're going to hit pause. We're going to go outside, put this on my head, and show you how it looks in the nighttime, and then we'll go with the final thoughts and we'll close this up. So 1 second, alright? Alright guys, so we came outside now. We're going to turn this thing on and see what we see. This is let's see which, this is the single LED setting. That tree over there is, I don't know, 50, 60 feet away. This is the 2 LED. It's still lighting up a little bit more now. You can see the tree much better. You can see more of the sides. This is all 3. And I won't do the strobe. Let's take a walk over here real quick. Again, you can see how well this lights up the things that are around me. Again, there's the single, there's the double, there's all three. So all three is lighting up that house. That's got to be 400 or 500 feet away from me. So this thing really pumps out some serious light. So as far as the actual unit itself goes, for the most part, for 30 bucks, I'm pretty happy with it. The one thing that I don't like about it is the actual part, the plastic part that that is at the very front of the unit behind the LEDs itself, that actually goes up against your forehead. It's just a piece of plastic, and it kind of gets uncomfortable if you're not wearing a hat. So what I need to do is I need to find some foam or some rubber or something and glue that onto the plastic pieces of that front piece that holds the LED and the tilting area, the tilt area, whatever that thing is, to sort of soften that up. But for $30 for a rechargeable LED headlamp, 5,000 lumens and 20 watts, I mean, you know, like I said, the output is fantastic. The runtime on the batteries are really great. I really couldn't ask for much more for the price. I was extremely happy with what I got, and I would recommend this very, very much. So we're gonna give this thing a score of 8.75 out of 10, and I am taking away, you know, a point plus for that for that little triangular piece that's up against your forehead, because after a while of wearing this, I don't think I could wear this for 20 plus hours without wearing a hat, because that plastic piece would get really, really kind of hard and annoying, and wouldn't feel so good on your forehead. So that's it for this review. The InnoGear 5,000 lumen headlamp, 8.75 out of 10. Definitely a worthwhile and worthy option to choose when you're looking at headlamps. So that's it for this episode of EDC Tactical Gear Review. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I am Mark P, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.